Deep in the heart of Central America, hidden beneath thick jungle and towering trees, lie the remnants of one of the greatest civilizations in human history, the Maya. A people who built towering pyramids, devised one of the most advanced writing systems of the ancient world, and mastered the art of astronomy and timekeeping. And yet, despite their astonishing achievements, the once thriving Maya civilization seemingly vanished overnight. But did they really? What caused their sudden collapse? And what can we learn from their mysterious downfall? Stay with us as we unravel the truth behind the lost empire of the Maya. Preclassic Period, 2000 BC to 250 AD. The story of the Maya does not begin in the Classic Period. It stretches back thousands of years to the enigmatic Preclassic Period, an era of innovation and complexity. Small farming communities began to emerge, cultivating maize, beans, squash, and chili peppers, staples that would sustain their society for millennia. Maya were concentrated in one geographical area, which corresponds to the modern era of southern Mexico, Guatemala, northern Belize, as well as the western parts of Honduras and El Salvador. As agriculture flourished, so did the population. Small villages transformed into larger settlements, some of which would become major power centers. One of the most significant early Maya sites is Nakbe in modern-day Guatemala. By 1000 BC, this settlement showcased monumental architecture, including large platforms and temples, a sign that the Maya were beginning to organize themselves into complex societies. Maya society became increasingly stratified between 1000 BC and 400 BC. The rise of elite rulers is evident in the emergence of large ceremonial centers like El Mirador, often referred to as the cradle of Maya civilization. With temples towering over 200 feet high, El Mirador was one of the first great cities of the Maya world. Religion was central to pre-classic Maya life. They worshipped a pantheon of deities connected to the forces of nature: the maize god, the rain god Chak, and the feathered serpent Kukulkan. This period also saw the beginnings of Maya writing, with some of the earliest inscriptions dating to the late pre-classic. The development of the complex hieroglyphic scripts would later become one of the most advanced writing systems in the ancient world. By 400 BC, Maya cities were reaching new heights. El Mirador and Kamanalhuyu featured vast causeways, grand places, and intricate water management systems. Trade networks flourished, connecting the Maya to other powerful Mesoamerican cultures such as the Olmec. The late pre-classic cultural florescence collapsed in the 1st century AD, and many of the great Maya cities of the epoch were abandoned. The cause of this collapse is unknown. Classic Period, 250 to 900 AD. The Classic Period was the golden age of the Maya Empire. Cities flourished, rulers established powerful dynasties, and trade networks expanded across Mesoamerica. The great city-states of Tikal, Calakmul, Copan, and Palenque emerged as dominant centers of power. Tikal, located in present-day Guatemala, became one of the most influential cities of the time. With its massive stone pyramids, expansive plazas, and advanced infrastructure, Tikal exemplified the power and innovation of the classic Maya. Maya society was structured like a well-oiled machine. At the top stood the divine rulers, known as the Ahau, who were believed to be intermediaries between the gods and the people. Below them were the noble class, priests, scribes, and warriors, who played crucial roles in governance, religion, and warfare. Artisans and merchants contributed to the economy, while farmers sustained the cities through their mastery of agriculture. Their cities were adorned with elaborate stone carvings, vividly painted murals, and grand pyramids that still stand today. But perhaps their greatest intellectual achievement was their writing system. Maya scripts is one of the most sophisticated writing systems of the ancient world, comprising over 800 glyphs. Scribes recorded everything from royal lineage and religious rituals to astronomical observations. Stepped pyramids and grand palaces defined the religious and political centers of the Maya civilization. While Cancún boasts the largest palace in the Maya world, it is notably devoid of pyramids. In contrast, cities such as Tikal and Copan highlighted the era's architectural achievements. Copan, which flourished between the 6th and 8th centuries, was adorned with towering temples and elaborate carvings that depict the power and, at times, the brutality of its rulers. The Maya relied on advanced mathematical and astronomical knowledge to design their monuments and shape their religious cosmology. Each of the 4 cardinal directions was associated with distinct deities, colors, and elements. The layout of their structures and the timing of rituals, including feasts and sacrifices, were influenced by their belief in the underworld, the cosmos, and the great tree of life that stood at the world's center. The Maya developed a sophisticated mathematical system that closely resembled earlier Olmec traditions. They associated this intricate system with their deity Itzamna, who was believed to have introduced much of Maya culture to humanity. Their calendar system combined the 260-day Xolkin with the 365-day Harb, forming a cyclical calendar round that resets every 52 solar years. The Xolkin, structured with 20 repeating day names cycling through 13 rounds, determined the precise timing of religious festivals. Meanwhile, the Harb, much like the modern solar calendar, was based on Earth's orbit around the Sun to track time. If you're captivated by this exploration of Maya history, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps support the channel and ensures you won't miss out on more fascinating historical content. Now, let's continue our journey. Despite their achievements, the Maya world was not peaceful. Rival city-states engaged in brutal warfare, vying for power and prestige. Tikal and Calakmul, 2 of the greatest Maya superpowers, waged a series of conflicts known as the Star Wars battles, where alliances shifted and rulers were overthrown. Defeated kings were often sacrificed or humiliated. Their cities were sometimes abandoned as a result of military defeats. Then, around 900 AD, by the end of the 9th century, many of their greatest cities were abandoned. Their temples were left to crumble, their palaces empty. What went so terribly wrong? Historians and archaeologists have been piecing together the clues, and they have found startling evidence that the fall of the Maya was not due to a single event, but rather a series of devastating factors that combined into a perfect storm. Post-Classic Period, 950 to 1039 AD. One of the first major centers to rise in the post-Classic was Chichen Itza. This city, located in the Yucatan Peninsula, flourished between the 10th and 13th centuries. Unlike earlier Maya cities, Chichen Itza displayed strong influences from central Mexico, particularly the Toltecs. Chichen Itza's influence extended beyond architecture, as the city became a dominant political, economic, and religious hub in the region. It controlled vast trade networks, facilitating the exchange of goods such as obsidian, jade, cacao, and textiles. Additionally, Chichen Itza was renowned for its ceremonial and astronomical significance. The Grand Pyramid, known as El Castillo, or the Temple of Kukulkan, was designed with precise astronomical alignment, creating a mesmerizing shadow effect of a serpent slithering down its steps during the equinoxes. Following Chichen Itza's decline in the 13th century, power shifted to Mayapan, which dominated the region for nearly 2 centuries. Mayapan attempted to unify the Maya under a confederation, but the system was fragile, plagued with internal rivalries. Unlike the highly centralized rule of early Maya polities, Mayapan's governance relied on a loose alliance of noble families, each controlling different regions. While this system initially fostered stability, it was rife with tensions as competing factors vied for influence and resources. The city itself was heavily fortified, surrounded by defensive walls, an indication of the turbulent political climate of the post-classic period. Within these walls, Mayapan's urban layout mirrored that of Chichen Itza, incorporating large ceremonial complexes, temples, and residence for elites. The Kukulkan Pyramid, for instance, closely resembled El Castillo of Chichen Itza, though it was smaller in scale. In the mid-1400s, Mayapan collapsed due to internal strife, leading to political fragmentation. Independent city-states, including Uxmal, Izamal, and the cities of Itza and the Kokom, vied for power. The Yucatan became a landscape of ever-shifting alliances and conflicts. The post-classic Maya were not just warriors. They were also master traders. Extensive maritime trade networks linked the Maya with the Aztecs and other Mesoamerican cultures. The post-classic Maya retained many of their religious traditions, but emphasized human sacrifice more than ever. Sacred cenote, like the one at Chichen Itza, were used for offerings to the gods. Archaeological excavations of the sacred cenote at Chichen Itza have revealed a wealth of ritual deposits, including jade, gold, pottery, and even the remains of human sacrifice victims, who were often thrown into the water as an offering to the rain god Chark. The arrival of the Spanish in the early 16th century marked the beginning of the end of the independent Maya polities. Hernán Cortés passed through Maya territories in 1519, but full-scale conquest came later. Contact period and Spanish conquest. Hernán Cortés landed on the Mexican coast with the goal of conquering the Aztec Empire. On his way, he encountered the Maya and engaged in several skirmishes. Some Maya city-states, like the one of Tabasco, resisted but were eventually subdued. Others, seeing an opportunity, aligned with the Spanish. Cortés left the Yucatan Peninsula behind, but his presence was only the beginning of the Maya's struggle. After the fall of the Aztecs in 1521, Spanish focus shifted to the Maya territories. The conquest was not swift. It took nearly 2 centuries for Spain to fully subdue the Maya. The first major invasion was led by Pedro de Alvarado in 1524. Alvarado, a brutal conquistador, one of Cortés's top lieutenants, marched into Guatemala, clashing with the powerful Quiché Maya. In the Battle of El Pinar, the Quiché suffered a devastating defeat, and their capital, Cumarcar, was burned to the ground. Despite superior weaponry, the Spanish did not find conquest easy. The Maya waged guerrilla warfare, using the dense jungle to their advantage. The Itza Maya of northern Guatemala, centered around their capital Tayasal, resisted Spanish rule for over 150 years. It wasn't until 1697, long after most of Mesoamerica had fallen, that the last independent Maya city, Tayasal, was conquered by the Spanish. The Spanish conquest brought devastating consequences. Diseases like smallpox wiped out entire communities. Forced labor and tribute systems drained the Maya of their resources. The Spanish systematically destroyed Maya religious sites and texts, seeking to replace indigenous beliefs with Christianity. In 1562, Bishop Diego de Landa ordered the burning of Maya codices, erasing invaluable historical and scientific knowledge. Despite centuries of colonization, the Maya people never disappeared. Their languages, traditions, and resilience have endured. Today, millions of Maya descendants still live in Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and beyond, preserving their heritage while adapting to the modern world. The story of the Maya is not just a tale of the past, it is a warning for the future. Their civilization thrived for thousands of years, yet a combination of climate change, resource management, and political instability led to their downfall. Sound familiar? Today, we face similar challenges: deforestation, water crises, and social conflicts. By studying the collapse of the Maya, we can learn how to avoid making the same mistakes. The past holds valuable lessons if we are willing to listen.